Hello, my dear gardeners. I'm sharing with you plans for 2026, another exciting growing season. And also, I'm summing up all the great successes and somewhat failures in my garden for the previous season. Last year was a big season in my garden. I added a lot of different structures, DIY constructions. As you know, my garden is really not big, although it does surprisingly looks very big on the camera, but it is occupying only 0.17 acres of land together with the house. So it's not even 1/5 of an acre. It's a small lot. So my future plans are connected to that size, by the way. So there is not really place to go in my garden unless I go vertically or I go into cute little details to make my garden interesting, right? One of the principles of design is if there is a little space, make sure that the details are very interesting so they will grab your attention, and as a result, the person will enjoy the space, a small space, so much better. And those little details will make space bigger, feel bigger, although nothing will happen to the space, right? So that's what I did last year. I built a lot of vertical structures and I started to invest into little details. And oh boy, I really had fun with them. So I started playing with hypertufa, and then I started playing with cement. And then I went into Pinterest and started discovering all sorts of wonderful, creative people there are doing all sorts of wonderful things with hypertufa and just plain cement. And I do like to I gravitate towards cement structures just because cement is so durable. Yes, it's not really nice looking, but you can play with all sorts of imitations, paint and surface imitations. So I started with hypertufa containers, and oh boy, it is so exciting that I'm going to continue this DIY trend into 2026. By the way, if you want to keep track of all the stuff I'm doing in the garden, please do subscribe. So this container, I made several containers. They are being tested this winter. I was showing you how they are doing in the garden. All of them, no cracks, only one with a small crack because it was my mistake. I didn't... that was the first part, so I didn't do it right. But otherwise, all of them are standing their grounds outside with plants planted in them. So I'm thinking they're a success. So this one was built last year. It's one of the bigger pots. I used a lot of cement in that hypertufa mix. So usually it's 1-1-1. Of portions of cement and other hypertufa ingredients. I increased cement to 2 amounts just because I don't want to move that pot together with the soil into the garage. I want to keep it outside. And I played with the color and the exterior texture, so it doesn't look really bad. Right now it's kind of bare in the garden, so it looks bright and a little bit too much, but when everything is blooming and the greenery is there, that pot is simply delicious. Well, another thing which I did and I found very successful, so I'm bringing that idea into 2026 season as well, is water fountain. And the first one I tried is this little tabletop water fountain. Oh, what a charming little thing. I didn't have water features in my garden till 2025, right? And I made it kind of to the end of the summer, so there was not much time to enjoy it, that trickling water in the garden. So this year, I'm going to try my skill with some sort of a bigger water fountain, where there would be 2 layers maybe. And on the first layer, the plants will grow. And I want to continue. I will be persistent trying to raise California poppies. Last year I was not successful. They were almost eaten all by the rabbits. And I know if I want to grow California poppies in the pots, I need to give them plenty of depth. So this new hypertufa water fountain, I don't know what I will do, but I imagine it to have two layers. And on the first layer, the basin would be deep enough, the container would be deep enough to host California poppies. And the second level will have a water fountain. Wouldn't that be interesting? And at the beginning, I was trying to think that I was kind of imagining that water fountain right here near my Katrina rose. It's a kind of a small, tight space. Now I'm rethinking it. So I probably will move it somewhere into the open space in the garden where the sun will touch the water fountain solar panel all the time. So I will have a nice flow of water. So that's a big project for 2026. Get myself going with hypertufa again, or maybe pure cement projects. Very exciting. I love that. I love that hypertufa can be so kind of fairy tale, right? So that's about hypertufa. Several pots were made. All of them are doing good. One is hosting a rose. I have several plans to transform move all my plastic pots into hypertufa pots. So that's about hypertufa. Now, the wattle constructions. The big success was this fence, which I created to protect the garbage, as you know. It changed that area 100%. Now, there is a beautiful backdrop to plant all the plants there in front of that beautiful wattle background. And because time is working for me, all those sticks are becoming nice and gray, and greenery will look so good there, right? So that was a good construction. I built a strong arch. It's going to be tested again in the garden this year, but it's a very strong build. The construction is made with treated wood. This year would be great there because I kind of took down from the previous construction 2 vines and then put them back into the new construction. So this year they will just become more mature there, right? So this year is going to be great for that arch as well. Well, the gate was built too. Last year, it was closer to the end of the season. And that gate, the main purpose of that gate is to block the last exit or entrance of rabbits into my garden. I don't mind raccoons. Raccoons do climb the fences, but rabbits are quite destructive. And I really don't want to fight with them anymore. So hopefully this year, I would be able to raise my vegetables without putting fences around. So that's aim for 2026, right? Okay, so since my garden is small, there is no place to move out. I'm moving up and I'm investing into the details. Now, plans for 2026. This area, I'm remodeling it all 100%. And what I want to do, I'm still thinking about it. I want to get 2 standard roses, maybe white varieties or yellow varieties to put there on both sides of the pathway. I'm still on the fence about it because in our area, standard roses do need to be moved into the garage in the winter, and they're high maintenance. You know, you have to fertilize and you make sure that you rotate them towards different sides to the sun for them to be proportional in growth. You have to make sure that they don't break from the wind. So, oh gosh, all sorts of protections. But when those standards in bloom, they are gorgeous. So I might be tempted and I might invest into beautiful 2 standard roses in the garden. We will see how that goes. Well, another big change for 2026 is that finally me and my husband, we came to the realization that we do want to move. Because In the past, we were going back and forth, back and forth. My husband was telling me, how in the world are you going to leave this beautiful garden behind? When everything is mature, your roses are gorgeous. It took years for them to reach that maturity, all the trees and shrubs and no. Yes, I know. But I want the land. You know, I grew up on the farm, as you know, and my parents lived off the land. So we would have potatoes and carrots and cabbage and all sorts of other things. And I am, you know, kids are leaving the house and I want to go to the garden, vegetable garden, and say to myself, what's for dinner? Get it, prepare it at home, make my own bread, and serve that wonderful food for the family, you know. And plus, organize that vegetable garden in such a pretty portiere manner. Oh, gosh, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because I'm imagining all the cool, really cool ideas I can do with that vegetable garden. It is true. Vegetable gardens are very difficult to keep beautiful and pristine. I would go combining fruits and vegetables with flowers and shrubs and boxwoods and all that stuff to make sure that my vegetable garden is not only productive, you know, but also entertaining. But all this is possible only if we move and we acquire at least 1 acre of land, you know. So now I'm thinking it would be great to have a beautiful kitchen garden near the kitchen. And then there would be a passage to go to the vegetable garden, which will have a nice protective border. And then I will have this and that and that. And then I'm thinking, okay, our youngest kid still in high school, so we need to wait at least another year to do that. But at least we came up to the realization that yes, it is good for us to move as a family. And Indian runner ducks, unbelievable. I fell in love with them and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I would love to have those ducks on the property. My husband is afraid that they're very messy because they poop all the time. But you know what? There can be spaces where they would be not allowed to come. And what a great thing to have ducks on the property. So yes, again, I'm getting ahead of myself because the only realization came that we have to move. It's okay to move. I shouldn't be scared to move. We never moved houses. This is the only house we lived in. This is our house. So it would be first time for us to move. And I know some people moved 5, 6 times. I just have to do it. We just have to do it and find a good property with a good land, which is another question. How in the world are we going to find the property we fall in love with? We will see. I will keep you posted, but it's not really a plan for 2026. At least one more season in this garden will happen. And I'm making all sorts of plans to develop it and enjoy my garden because it has such good bones, you know. Another question my husband asked me, what about people who are going to move into this house? Are they going to take care of this garden as you did? And right away, my straight response is, nobody would be able to take care of this garden as I did, because I know every single plant. I babied it from the small age. And then I have to say, let it go. And then you know what comes into my head? I told you there was a house for sale several blocks away from us. Beautiful garden. New owners bought it. Every single plant was pulled out of the soil, shaken off, and put to the side of the curb. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, at least tell me to come in and I would take some plants. I would rescue them. But I can't think about it with my garden. Hopefully the new owners will love this space. But if they are not, I'm not going to look back. I probably will take several plants which I love, not roses. Roses are old. Roses we know that all the roses, it's much more difficult for them to get established on a new lot, on a new land. So it's better to take a cutting or to invest into a new rose to begin with. And there are so many roses I want to grow on the new location, you know. I will have all that space to test all the climbers, ramblers, which I can plant and let them bloom and expand and become mature all over again. So that's another exciting thing. The amount of plants I can grow and enjoy, because here, again, the space is limited, right? So 2026 is going to be here. Well, the growing season is going to be here before I know it. And all the busy time will start in the garden. Well, right now, unbelievable. Snow is just, looks like never is going away, never disappearing. It's cold, 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 non-stop. But I know the warm days are coming and spring is going to be in no time. And then I'm going to be so busy. So now I'm reading books, believe it or not. And you know which book I'm reading right now? The carpentry book, because I want to be able to do projects in the garden myself, and I really don't have basic carpentry skills. So this book right now is the #1 book on my reading table, and I'm slowly, patiently going through every page right now. I am studying different tools, because I really, English language is my third language, so I really don't even know the names of tools, those carpentry tools. So it's a slow but important read for me. All right, my dear gardeners, we will see you in our next video. Happy gardening.